And there are great privileges and power that comes with becoming a U.S. citizen. And sadly, when I became a U.S. citizen, I didn't use that power well. That power actually corrupted me. It made me believe that I was better than everyone else, that I deserved more than other people who did not have the same privilege and power as me. I began discriminating against other immigrants, even other Filipinos, who are recent immigrants or those who I thought were not as Americanized as I am. I made fun of their accents, made fun of their clothes. I teased them, I looked down on them. I even got to the point where I began diluting my Filipinoness, pretending that I didn't understand Tagalog, even though it is my first language and I still am very proficient in Tagalog to this day. I refused to speak Tagalog. And I worked really, really hard trying to get rid of my accent when I spoke English. I wanted to get rid of myself and my Filipino-ness, so I watched a lot of Saved by the Bell, Boy Meets World. So I had a crush on Topanga Lawrence. My wife knows it, so it's not a secret. But I was not using my great power for good. Instead, I was using it to marginalize people, to deny people the opportunities that I was simply lucky enough to have. I was using the power to hurt people. I was using it to force people to forget their cultures, their languages, their worldviews, themselves. I was using it to make people hate themselves. And it wasn't until later in life, like in college here at UAA, when I began to have a shift in perspective. And I realized that this power of being an American can and must be used better. It must be used for the good. The discriminatory attitude that I held about people and the hurtful ways that I was acting toward other people is not the promise of America. This is not how America would want me or us to use our power. And I saw many of my fellow Americans who were using their power in this way, in the same marginalizing, oppressive, and discriminatory ways. In fact, I see this now, especially now. And I love America too much for me to just let it continue to hurt so many people. And because I love America so much, I want it to be better. And I know you love America too. And so with this, please give me a few more minutes as I share 3 thoughts. First, we must always want America to be better, to work better for all people. And a fundamental part of getting better is identifying the areas that need improvement. So we need to perpetually criticize America in order to make it better. And as much as I love America, the reality is that it's not perfect. It has never been perfect. But what makes America great is that we are allowed to strive toward making it better, to continually adjust it, change it, adapt it, and make it as perfect as it can be through the changing times and the constantly evolving challenges we face. As African-American poet, writer, and civil rights activist James Baldwin stated, I love America more than any other country in this world. And exactly for that reason, I insist on the right to criticize her perpetually. And he is right. Now that we are U.S. citizens, we can't just sit back and do nothing. Now with this much power, we can't just waste our power, and we cannot just keep the benefit or reap the benefits of this power selfishly, thinking only about ourselves. We must use this power, leverage it, to criticize America and make America better. We must engage, we must critique, we must analyze, we must organize, and we must vote. We must hold our elected leaders accountable, hold those who represent us accountable, and make sure they remember that they are also representing us, and not just those who were simply lucky to have been born here. We have to make sure we don't give our power, our vote, and our support to people who will relegate our issues, immigrant issues, our lives, our immigrant lives, as less important issues. We have to hold accountable our leaders when they support those who have plans to hurt us and our families. We cannot just put our heads down and work and be quiet and do our jobs. We cannot just be silent, voiceless, powerless immigrants anymore. As U.S. citizens, we now have the power and the responsibility to look up to and to look up to see the injustices around us, to hold our heads up against these injustices, to speak out and do something to address them. We now have the responsibility to make America better. And this brings me to my second message, which is to demand to be treated with complete dignity and humanity. We make America better by demanding better. to be seen as full humans and not just a commodity, not just as money, not just as producers, or simply as a source of labor. We must demand to be seen as full, complex, and equal human beings who have the same value as anyone else and whose lives matter just as much as everyone else. This is one of the most important ways for our country to be better. It needs to be better at treating all people with complete humanity and dignity. For us as immigrants, we must always remember and we must remind this country that we are worth more than our spending power, or how much taxes we pay, or how many jobs we hold, or how many hours we work, or how much money we generate. Our worth as human beings is worth way more than any amount of money. And a big part of who we are is our culture, our heritage. This diversity of thoughts, worldviews, and experiences that we bring to this country is another way for us to contribute to it and make it better. In fact, I believe that we, the people, are this country's most important and significant resource. And the diversity we bring to it makes us, in my view, one of the country's most important and significant strengths. We are not a point of weakness. We are not a drain. We are assets. So please don't forget who you are. You don't have to. We don't have to forget our heritage, who we truly are, in order to be complete Americans. In fact, the diversity we all bring to this country is what makes America more complete. As Filipino hero Jose Rizal said, ang hindi marunong lumingon sa kanyang pinanggalingan na hindi makakarating sa kanyang paroroonan. Those who do not look back and appreciate where they come from will not get to their destination. So let's not forget who we are. We should not forget our ancestors, many of whom fought and resisted and spoke up and risked their lives to get us here today, to make it even possible for us to be here today. We owe that to them. So we must not forget who we are. We must fight to be seen and accepted and valued as who we are fully. Which brings me to my third and final message. As we take pride in who we are as immigrants, and as much as we should advocate for immigrant rights, we must never do so at the expense of further erasing the indigenous peoples of these lands. This is especially important for us here in Alaska, as our beloved state is number one in the country when it comes to the proportion of Native peoples in our population. We live with many Native brothers and sisters, and this is their indigenous lands. And so we must respect that fact. We must respect, know, and understand Native peoples, their histories, their cultures, their worldviews, their ways of doing things, their lands. We must connect with them and see our similarities and shared struggles with them. We need to be in solidarity with them, to build coalitions with them, to stand beside them, to be behind them, and to work in collaboration with them toward making this country, this America, better for all people. So in closing, with your great privileges and power now, as United States citizens, please do everything you can to use such powers for good. You have that responsibility now. And I humbly ask that you use that power to make America better for all people. I ask that you use that power to identify and call out America's flaws and contribute toward addressing such flaws so that America becomes better for all people. I humbly ask that you demand full recognition as a human being. Remember that you are not simply a commodity, that you are worth more than your labor, your money, your taxes, your spending power. One of our greatest strengths is our diversity, so please demand that the diversity you bring be valued. And finally, I ask that while you celebrate that diversity and advocate for your complete human rights as immigrants, please do not forget about our indigenous brothers and sisters. Let's build relationships and coalitions with them and work in solidarity with them as we try to make America better for all people. Maraming salamat po for hearing me out. And congratulations again with this great power you now have. Let us do something with it. Thank you.